I'm Jim Morgan. I'm the artistic director here at the York Theatre Company.
I'm David Shire, the composer of Big, and very lucky to have the York doing our show in their Mufti series.
It's a milestone Mufti series, to be alliterative, in fact, because in it we hit number 100 in the series. Big is number 98, which is exciting enough, and we're delighted to be working with David and Richard Maltby and John Weidman, who wrote the book. They're all old friends of the company. We had a gigantic hit with Richard and David's show, Closer Than Ever, 2 years ago. And we're moving forward with this show that I've always wanted to do, and to find out that we're giving it its first time being seen in New York in this version is very exciting.
It's original version.
Wow.
Before we improved it in Detroit and then took out all the improvements for the national company.
So this is really the national tour version, essentially.
Yeah, but it is essentially
what you started
what
with.
we started with, which we learned too late was the show we should have opened on Broadway. Wow. So now we're going to see it.
Well, now it ran on Broadway. It was respectable, like 6 months or something.
It ran eight months.
That's even more than respectable.
Yeah.
But it was a mixed experience.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people loved the show, and they still talk about it. And some people, it's in their minds, it's a lot more successful commercially than it was. But after the show closed on Broadway, we put together a national tour version and put back in 6 or 7 songs that were cut along the way to Detroit and in Detroit and during previews, and that became the national version. But it's not the new version is the old version. It's pretty much the way we first went into rehearsal. And Mike Ockland, who we loved and had a very lovely experience with, had a different idea of what the show was. He saw it as basically Big. He thought we were going to do a big Broadway show, and Susan Stroman was choreographing it, and we had wonderful dance numbers.
So it was smaller on the tour, less
It was smaller.
expansive?
We always intended it to be, what attracted us to the story was not the fact that you could have big dance numbers and a carnival and all that, but that there was a lovely, intimate story there about different generations and youth perspective on adulthood and adult perspective on youth. When you strip it down, it's a very small, intimate, lovely story. When you think of Tom Hanks in the movie,
Right.
It's those little moments you remember, looking at the piece of, eating a little piece of corn and stuff like that, and the moments with the mother.
So maybe doing it in our smaller Mufti style may be great for it.
This is going to be wonderful because, I mean, it could have been both, because the dance numbers were terrific and they were part of the story arc. But the show should work if it's going to work at all. It should work in Mufti and just telling the story, because it's a wonderful story.